Welcome back to the Deep Dive. So if you're a retail executive and you're getting ready for NRF 2026,
Hmm.
or maybe you're just, trying to get a real handle on the major shifts happening right now on the store floor, well, this deep dive is definitely for you. Our mission today is to unpack what's really going on, focusing on where true innovation is happening.
And what the key difference is between abstract technology and the tools that actually functionally work on the front line.
Exactly. Now, anyone who follows us knows we often look at companies that are driving real-world change. And if you're a retail leader, you're almost certainly familiar with Multimedia Plus and their Insight platform. We're going to use their recent work as a bit of a roadmap here to understand how the industry is solving some of its biggest headaches.
And we should probably just cut straight to the chase. The core conclusion from every single report we looked at is this. For years, we heard this narrative.
The death of the store.
The death of the store, exactly. But that whole era of, gloomy predictions, it's over.
Yeah.
Physical retail isn't just surviving. It's at a huge inflection point. It's reasserting itself as the absolute center of the customer experience.
Okay, let's unpack that, because that is a massive pivot from what we've been hearing for the last decade. I mean, it wasn't long ago that futurists were telling us malls would be ghost towns.
Right. And that everything meaningful would move online.
Yeah.
Well, the data shows that shoppers, frankly, just did not get that memo. Digital transformation happened, of course, but the physical store has evolved. It's reinvesting in itself, and it's proving its value. The sources are really clear on the data here. In-person shopping drives higher conversion rates consistently.
Okay, that's the transactional piece. But what about the strategic side?
Yeah.
How is it becoming the heart of the experience again?
It really comes down to two things that digital still can't quite replicate.
Okay.
Emotional connection and brand immersion. The store is where a customer builds loyalty. It's where they can touch the product, get real help.
And where the brand story is actually told in a physical space.
Exactly. But, and this is critical, this success is totally contingent. The research confirms that all those financial benefits, that higher conversion, the loyalty, the lifetime value, they only show up when the store is running optimally. And that optimization, it all hinges on associates who are confident and engaged.
So if the human element is weak,
Then the store loses its unique advantage completely.
so the store never lost its importance. It needed better tools, better training.
That's it. The problem wasn't the store itself. It was the decades-old, really abstract ways we were trying to support the people in it.
Right. Now, let's widen the lens a bit. This is all happening while the macroeconomic climate is shifting. The sources say it's actually a lighter landscape for retail execs.
This is such a crucial point. It lets you, the executive, shift your focus. For so long, all the strategic energy was just sucked up by external pressures.
Trade wars, supply chain chaos.
All of it. Now those headwinds are starting to feel more like tailwinds. First, the big tariff uncertainty that dominated planning it's largely behind us.
And what does that clarity actually do for a retailer?
It hits the capital budget directly. When you're not constantly reacting to surprise costs, you can actually commit to big internal improvement projects. It frees up resources.
Okay.
Second, interest rates are finally trending lower. This helps consumer spending, which is great, but it also eases the cost of capital for the retailer.
So those big tech investments that might have been on hold for a few years.
Are suddenly much easier to greenlight.
Exactly.
We're seeing a shift from just capital conservation to strategic deployment for growth.
Right.
And the third thing is huge. Office attendance is climbing again. We're finally seeing foot traffic patterns in urban centers start to normalize.
Which restores a level of predictability.
A huge level. It brings energy back to those flagship locations.
That's a powerful mix. So you're removing all this external economic friction,
Yeah.
which lets executives focus on the one thing they can actually control: internal execution. And that, of course, brings us to the topic that is dominating every single conversation at NRF.
AI.
AI.
It's the single most talked about thing. You walk the floor, it's AI for task management, AI for content, AI for inventory.
AI for everything.
It is genuinely table stakes now.
But this is where it gets really interesting, right? Because AI is being used so broadly,
Yeah.
it's almost becoming meaningless.
It is.
We all know the goal is automation, efficiency.
Yeah.
But if every single vendor has AI, what's the actual differentiator?
That is the critical question. The real issue isn't who has AI. It's who is using it in a way that actually works in the stores.
Okay, clarify that. What does a generic, non-context-aware AI look like, and why does it fail for the frontline team?
It fails because it treats retail like a back office spreadsheet. It might be great at analyzing sales data, but when it tries to create training for the store floor, it just falls flat. It uses generic stock photos, abstract language. It just doesn't reflect the daily reality of an associate.
Chaotic reality.
The chaotic, visual, situational reality.
Oh.
Exactly. Retail is human. If the solution doesn't understand the context, the brand, the uniform, the store layout, it won't get adopted. It just becomes more corporate noise to ignore.
That distinction context over command is so important, and it brings us right to these specific advancements on the Insight platform that really get this. Let's start with the Insight brand-aware AI image generation. That sounds like it tackles that visual disconnect head-on.
It really does. I mean, think about the challenge of creating visuals for training.
Hmm.
You're either using generic stock photos that nobody relates to.
Or you're spending a fortune on photo shoots that are outdated the minute they're done.
Precisely. This new tech is AI image generation that's uniquely trained on the brand's own specific assets, their guidelines, their store designs. It means the images are generated inside that brand's world.
So if I need a visual for merchandising a new display, the image shows associates in our actual uniform with our fixtures in a background that looks like our store.
Exactly, even down to the lighting on the flooring. And the difference is profound. When the content feels that relevant, engagement just soars. Training stops being some abstract theory and becomes practical knowledge you can use right now.
That's huge for relevance. But what about speed and connection? The second big thing is insight posts with video.
Yeah, this solves a pain point every retail executive knows. That communication gap between corporate and the store.
The long email chain that gets lost and misinterpreted 100 different ways.
Exactly. It lacks tone, it lacks urgency. So picture this instead. A VP of stores is on the floor, sees something great or something that needs fixing. Instead of long email, they pull out their phone and record a quick, 2-minute video. Real store, real energy. That video gets shared instantly through Insight posts to every single store. The associates hear the message directly from leadership. They see what good looks like.
It feels like a direct connection, not a top-down mandate.
It's faster, it's clearer, and it's just more human.
And this idea of accelerating visual content seems to scale up even further with what the Design by MMP creative team is doing with AI video.
Yes, this is for the more high-quality, long-form stuff. Product knowledge modules, compliance training, that kind of thing.
Which historically meant film crews, shutting down stores, weeks of editing.
A total nightmare. And if something changes, you have to do it all over again.
Right, a costly reshoot.
Exactly. The innovation here is using AI tools in the creative workflow to produce video that is, well, it's virtually indistinguishable from a traditional shoot. Realistic scenarios, lifelike talent, great storytelling.
Oh, wait, is this just like stitched together stock clips or stiff avatars? Because for a luxury brand, quality is everything.
That's where the human creative direction is key. No, these are not stiff avatars. The quality check is paramount. The real advantage is speed and flexibility. Brands can launch polished, complex video content in days, sometimes just 48 hours instead of weeks.
So you can be incredibly responsive without the old production headaches.
Monumental speed with high brand integrity.
But as you said, innovation has to be grounded in reality. Which brings us to the growth of the MMP advisory bench. That seems like a big move to keep the tech practical.
It's critical. If you're the executive making a big tech decision, you need to know the tool wasn't just built in a vacuum. Bringing in these seasoned retail leaders ensures every feature is solving a real-world problem.
So who are some of these people? What lens are they bringing?
Well, you've got three really crucial profiles. First, Vince Delosa. He was the president of Ralph Lauren Retail North America. 4 decades of experience.
Okay, so he understands scale.
He understands operating at massive scale while protecting the integrity of a premium brand, which is incredibly difficult. His focus is ensuring the tech simplifies that without compromise.
And who else?
Then there's Missy Poole. Over 25 years at places like Apple and Ralph Lauren. Her focus is so important. How does technology support culture? How does it drive performance and customer connection? She connects the tech to the human outcomes.
Right. It's not just about tasks.
Not at all. And finally, Maureen Smith. Her expertise is deep in luxury retail training and brand storytelling. She makes sure the content, AI generated or not, is emotionally resonant, that it helps associates build real relationships. So you have this foundation of expertise, scale, culture, and emotional connection.
That ensures the innovation is viable, not just theoretical.
Well,
Okay, so let's synthesize all this. We have the store reemerging, a better macro landscape, and this need for context-aware AI. What's the ultimate takeaway for the listener?
the takeaway is this: we're at an inflection point. Stores are no longer competing against digital, they're complementing it. They're the emotional anchor. The brands that win over the next few years will be the ones who equip their frontline teams with tools that are fast, visual, relevant, and above all, human-centric. It's not about replacing people.
It's about making people better at their jobs, moving from just digital transformation to genuine human transformation on the sales floor.
Precisely. Technology should be an accelerator for human capability. It shouldn't ask people to adapt to clunky tools that were never designed for their world.
That's a powerful way to frame it. The future isn't some theoretical thing. It's happening right now on your floor. And for you, the retail executive heading to NRF 2026, here's the final thought. You know the limits of traditional content creation, the cost, the delays, all that friction. Now imagine how much faster you could execute your strategy when your creative direction is combined with the acceleration of true, context-aware AI. Imagine removing those production limits entirely. This NRF is a unique chance to meet the team building these exact solutions. If you want to see brand-aware AI image generation, insight posts with video, the speed of AI-powered video, you really need to meet them in person. You can kick the tires, ask the tough questions, and see how they ground all this in practical execution. Just visit booth 5450 at NRF 2026. Thank you for taking this deep dive with us.